So these are some red robins. They're about 12-inch tall tomato plants with little cherry tomatoes on them. They're kind of good. This is some savory. I just planted it. Hasn't come up yet. Some Thai basil. And I usually put at least 2 seeds per pot in case of failure. And this was sage. It hasn't come up, but this sage has. So these seeds failed. So it's always good to put a couple seeds per. Here's some eggplant that's come up. Here's some onions that, see, a lot of them didn't germinate. So it's a good thing I have a lot of extra seeds. These are rattlesnake watermelons. That one didn't germinate. The rest did. Here's some baby doll watermelons. There's several that didn't germinate. We just planted some crimson sweet watermelon in these 6 cells right here. This is buttercup squash. These 2 did not germinate. I added some brand new seeds on the corners. This one came up. We're waiting for this one to come up. Here's some butternut squash. We're going to transplant these today into bigger pots. The 3-inch, 4-inch pots. 3-inch, I don't know what they are too small now. They're starting to get root bound. These are bell peppers. You can see the true leaves are starting to come out. These are the first leaves that come out, and then they'll create these true leaves. And see, I planted two seeds and both of them germinated, so we'll cut the smaller one off. Carolina Reaper. These germinated, these did not. Some jalapenos. These are Ruby Crush tomatoes. I put 2 seeds in here, only 1 germinated. This one, both of them germinated. We'll cut one of these plants because we only need 1. Red snapper tomato plants. Again, both germinated, so we'll get rid of 1. These are cucumbers. These need to go on the ground right away. Here's some Israeli cantaloupes and some sun-kissed cantaloupes. We're going to transplant these into bigger pots. And then over here, these are our zucchinis and our squashes, which just took off. I put them in the 6-inch pots, and they're already starting to produce fruit. That little guy in there. So these need to get into the ground right away. I usually try to wait till Easter, but that's still 3 weeks away or so. So these need to get in the ground. All right, so let's get to transplanting. Okay, so we're gonna transplant the cucumbers first. And we're gonna leave both of them in here. I've grown cucumbers like this before and never had an issue. They don't seem to mind. See the roots? They need to get into a bigger container and then into the ground. Woo. Okay. So there's our cucumbers. They can stay in there a couple more weeks before we get them in the ground. Now we'll do the butternut squash. Okay, butternut is transplanted. Okay, so we only need 1 of these tomatoes in each pot. So these are both about the same, so we'll just get rid of 1. This one looks a little bigger. Now, could we have 2 tomatoes growing in the same pot and stick it in the ground that way, absolutely. They'll grow just fine like that. But we don't need that many tomatoes this year. So we're going to transplant these. And then these are going to stay in these pots till they're about 18 inches tall before we stick them out in the garden.
18 inches tall?
Yep, they're going to be big. Okay, there's our tomatoes. Let's see. Next we'll get all the cantaloupes, and that'll be it for today for transplanting. Okay. Well, I decided not to transplant the cantaloupes. I'm just going to leave them in here for another week and then get them in the ground. And that's all we're going to do today as far as transplanting goes. The peppers, they need to go longer. They need to get bigger. So when these get a little bit bigger, we'll transplant those, and then they'll stay in here for a little bit longer. There's the tomatoes. All right. Okay, here's our 2-year-old crowns now that have come up. We're not going to harvest them. We're just going to let these grow and let the crown underground get bigger. And this is our 3-year-old bed that we've been harvesting. Some good sized asparagus spears coming up. All these need to be picked today. And we'll harvest this bed for about 6 weeks. And then we'll let it grow. Man, this all happened overnight really fast. Look at this purple one. Look how thick that is. Deliciousness. Got some potatoes going. We'll see how that is. Some bunching onions in the back. And here's some more bunching onions. These need to be pulled up and spread apart and replanted. They bunch together, so. Been eating cilantro quite a bit. Spinach is on its way out. And I just pulled up and replanted arugula. So you can see all the baby arugula starting to come in. So we'll get another harvest of that. All right, y'all take care.